Your dog has a list of things they wish you did more often, not the obvious things. Not more food or longer walks or extra treats, though they would probably not say no to any of those. Something more specific than that. 5 things that land in the psychology of a dog in a way that most owners never quite deliver. Not because they do not care, but because nobody ever told them these things mattered this much. Today we are going through all 5, each one grounded in behavioral science, each one something you can start doing today. 1. Letting them fully finish a sniff. You already know dogs love to sniff, but knowing it and actually allowing it are 2 different things. And most owners, even the ones who understand the importance of olfactory enrichment in theory, still rush their dog past the interesting patch of grass, still pull them away from the fire hydrant before they are done, still treat the sniff as a detour from the real purpose of the walk rather than the purpose itself. What your dog wishes you understood is that the sniff is not a distraction. It is the entire point. A dog's olfactory system processes scent with a resolution that is incomparably richer than anything available to human perception. When your dog stops at a patch of ground and investigates it for 60 seconds, they are not dawdling. They are reading a layered chemical narrative, identity, hormonal state, health indicators, emotional state, time of passage, of every animal that has been there. It is information dense, cognitively engaging, and genuinely satisfying in a way that nothing else on the walk replicates. Research published in Applied Animal Behavior Science found that dogs allowed to sniff freely showed significantly better emotional states afterward, lower stress indicators, more optimistic cognitive bias than dogs walked at a brisk, sniff-restricted pace. The enrichment is not in the distance covered, it is in the nose, work done along the way. What your dog wishes you would do is simple. Stop, wait, let them finish. Not every sniff, not indefinitely, but enough that the walk feels like theirs as much as yours. The extra 2 minutes it costs you returns something to them that no other part of their day provides. 2. Getting on the floor with them. This is something most owners do naturally with puppies and stop doing almost entirely as the dog matures, and the loss of it is more significant than most people realize. Your dog lives at floor level. Their entire physical experience of the world, the surfaces they rest on, the angles from which they see things, the spatial relationship they have with the people in their life is oriented downward from where you stand and sit. And the height differential between you is not just physical. It carries a subtle but continuous postural weight. You are always above them. They are always looking up. Getting on the floor changes that dynamic completely. When you come down to their level, when you sit or lie on the floor and let the interaction happen on their terms, at their height, in their physical space, something in the quality of the contact shifts. Dogs consistently become softer, more physically affectionate, and more genuinely relaxed within seconds of an owner getting on the floor with them. This happens because the postural dominance that is a constant background feature of the human-dog relationship temporarily dissolves. The communication that happens at floor level, the sniffing, the nuzzling, the full-body contact, is the kind of physical interaction that most closely mirrors how dogs interact with each other. It is contact on equal terms, and dogs feel the difference immediately. 5 minutes on the floor with your dog, not training, not play with an agenda, just being there at their level, is one of the most relationship deepening things available to you. It costs nothing, and your dog notices every time you do it. 3. Talking to them like they are part of the conversation. Most owners talk to their dog occasionally. They issue commands, they narrate food preparation, they say goodbye when they leave. But genuine conversational inclusion, the kind where you talk to your dog the way you would talk to a companion whose presence in the room is real and acknowledged, is something most dogs get far less of than they would benefit from. Research from Utrecht University found that dogs process human speech using the same hemispheric division as humans. Left brain for word content, right brain for emotional tone. The reward centers of the dog's brain activate most strongly when speech directed at them combines positive word content with genuine warmth in the delivery. What this means practically is that your dog is not just hearing sounds when you talk to them. They are processing the emotional content of what you say with a sophistication that most owners underestimate. The specific words matter less than the feeling behind them, but when both are present, the response in the dog's brain is measurable and real. What your dog wishes you would do is include them more. Not just address them when you need something from them. Talk to them while you are doing things. Tell them what you are thinking. Narrate the evening. Describe what you are cooking. Ask them questions you do not expect answered. The content is not the point. The inclusion is. A dog that is regularly spoken to as a present, acknowledged member of the household develops a different quality of attentiveness and connection than a dog that is primarily addressed through commands. They are not just a pet in the room. They are a participant. Talk to them like it. 4. Structured nose work beyond the walk. The walk provides sniffing opportunity, but it is passive. The dog encounters what the environment happens to offer. What dogs love and rarely get is active, structured nose work. A deliberate activity built specifically around their olfactory capability, where the nose is not just engaged, but challenged. The difference between passive sniffing and active nose work is the difference between reading whatever book happens to be on the shelf and solving a puzzle. Both are engaging. One is significantly more cognitively demanding and significantly more satisfying. Active nose work can be as simple as hiding small pieces of food around a room before letting the dog in, scattering kibble in long grass, wrapping treats in an old towel and letting them work it out, hiding their favorite toy in the house and sending them to find it. The specific format matters less than the core element. The dog is using their nose to locate something, and the finding of it is the reward. Research on nose work as an enrichment activity has found measurable reductions in cortisol, increased optimism in cognitive bias tests, and greater behavioral calm. Following nose work sessions compared to equivalent physical exercise, the mental load of active scent work is genuinely tiring in a way that physical exercise often is not, and the tiredness that follows is the contented kind, not the depleted kind. Your dog has a nose capable of detecting parts per trillion. Most of them spend their lives using it at a fraction of its capacity. 5 minutes of structured nose work a day is one of the highest return enrichment investments available to any dog owner. 5. Simply being present without an agenda. This is the one that is hardest to describe and possibly the most important. Most of a dog's time with their owner is structured around something. Feeding, walking, training, play. Even affection often has a task quality to it. The owner initiating, the dog receiving, the interaction following a familiar script. What most dogs get very little of is genuine, unstructured, agenda-free time in which their owner is simply present. Not present and scrolling. Not present and watching television with half their attention elsewhere. Present in the way that means the nervous system is actually here, in this room, with this animal, not planning or processing or multitasking. Dogs are extraordinarily sensitive to the quality of human attention. Research has shown that dogs respond differently, physiologically, behaviorally, to owners who are genuinely present versus owners who are physically in the room but mentally elsewhere. The touch of a distracted person and the touch of an attentive person produce measurably different responses in a dog's autonomic nervous system. What your dog wishes you would do, regularly, even briefly, is nothing. Sit with them and do nothing except be there. No phone, no task, no agenda. Just the shared occupation of the same space, your nervous system actually in the room, available to theirs. This kind of presence is what co-regulation actually requires. And co-regulation, the mutual settling of two nervous systems in proximity, is one of the most fundamental things the dog-human relationship is built on. It requires only that you stop, arrive, and stay for a few minutes. Your dog has been waiting for exactly that. 5 things. None of them complicated, all of them within reach today. Your dog is not asking for more than you have. They are asking for more of what you already are when you are fully here. Drop a comment. I read every single one. Subscribe, new video every week. See you next time.